excited about our next episode. You're listening to Real Talk. It is season 2, round 2, I like to call it. And keep those likes and subscriptions coming through. We always do 5 stars, okay? Nothing less. If you give me 4 stars, you are banned from Facebook, friends. No, jokes. It's so good to have everyone back, and I have really been enjoying all the feedback. And our next guest is somebody who I have a lot of respect for. We do go pretty female heavy on Real Talk, but there's always room to chat to any gender about any topic as long as they are raw and relevant. And that is Ronaldo Mulitalo, who plays for the Cronulla Sharks. He's also represented America, Samoa, and now he may be representing New Zealand at the 2022 Rugby League World Cup. But we'll wait to see what happens in terms of selection there. Ronaldo, really appreciate you coming on. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me. It's nice to be a part of something different, I guess. And really excited to get into the yarn.
For sure. I know that rugby league listeners and non-rugby league listeners would have Googled your name. If they haven't done so, they will do it. And what will come up will be controversy with Queensland Origin. But it's going to be a refreshing chat because there's been so much said about that we want to talk about who Ronaldo Mulitalo is off the football field. Before we do get into that, we do Fast 5. So I want to know a few little background questions. Prepare yourself.
Cool.
Who was your first kiss, Ronaldo?
This is my first kiss. Was it kiss, did you say? Am I saying
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I can't even remember her name. This is how far back. I would have been... Actually, I don't know, but the first one I remember, your name's Sally. So, Sally, if you're out there, thank you. Thank you for the first kiss.
Shout out to Sally. What about the most annoying teammate in Cronulla Sharks?
Believe it or not, Nico can be pretty bad. Moyes is definitely up there. And Royce Hunt's more of a case, like annoying. But Moyes I think he's good for us. Everyone thinks he's a nice little young-looking fella, but he's annoying as hell.
What has he done to you that's so annoying?
He's just like, he calls me Fozone. Like, he's got all his little nicknames, and he just likes to heckle you. Like, if you come in and you're not feeling the best of the day, he just kicks you down while you're down. So it's always nice to have that sometimes.
Oh, nice reminder. Hey, do you have any superstitions?
Yeah. For me, I got to call my mum every morning before I play footy. Every morning, if I miss it, I get big head noise, and she's got to ask. She just knows, she expects it every morning. So every morning I got to call my mum whilst I have a bad game.
Oh, I love that. That's a great one.
Mum's a good one.
If you could be anything in this world, your dream job, what would it be?
I'd probably be Elon Musk or something, one of those big dogs. Like for me, it's obviously I've done all the charity work, but honestly don't see why someone needs that much money, and I would love to just distribute that out. Just into the general world. But yeah, I'd honestly like to be at that and change. Like, they obviously have their own look at it, but I reckon it would be life-changing for some people if you have that money.
Listeners have fallen in love with you, mate. Last one, cheat meal.
Cheat meal. I'm bad for Macca's. Like, I obviously can't put weight on, so Macca's is the go-to. And after a couple of beers, it's nice to have some Macca's as well to treat myself.
What's the go-to meal? You can't get away with just Macca's.
I go Big Mac, 6 nuggets on the side, and a sundae to finish me off. Always a large Fanta. I'm not a big Coke fan, so Fanta's always the way.
What sundae?
I always go caramel.
Oh, yes. Great
caramel.
Choice.
I think just the only way you can go caramel.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, gosh, I knew we'd be friends. All right, one word that best describes you, Ronaldo. We'd like to get a little deep here and find out a little bit more about you. So one word.
Just happy. I was always happy. Always trying to be happy, always trying to be the life of the party, get everyone going. I enjoy that part of it. And, yeah, I just love being happy.
I think we'll be able to tell listeners a little more why you are so happy. You've got a great story to share, and we'll get into that soon. Before we do, though, I do just want to have a special shout out to Workplace Law. Shane and Athena there at the team, they've been fabulous, and they've jumped on board Real Talk. And I do say this in a few of the podcast episodes, but I truly mean it. They're here to empower other athletes, and particularly females. And if you just need some representation in that space, if you need help with sponsorship deals or contracts, they really genuinely want to help you. And I think that's why our partnership works so well here with Real Talk Media, because they are one of a kind, and they want to empower other female athletes. So get in contact with them, workplacelaw.com.au. Ronaldo Mulitalo, you have played 40 NRL games. 2020, I would say, was your breakout season. 2019, debut year. 2021 was here, there, everywhere. It was a broken jaw at the end, and there was so much controversy in between with State of Origin. But it's more about who you are off the football field. And if people want to read about the Origin stuff, gosh, you just literally start typing RON and it'll all come up, and you can talk about that with your mates. But Ronaldo, I'd love to tell listeners a bit about you and who you were growing up.
Yeah, I'm a New Zealand born kid out of Middlemore. Grew up in Otara, south of Auckland. Moved over when I was a young fella to Brisbane. That's where the controversy starts all over. But did my time at Brizzy as a 13, 14-year-old. And when I finished high school in about 2016, the end of 2016, I managed to get the great opportunity to come down and make a life for myself and set up my family. And that's all I really needed, to be honest with everyone. And I moved down to Cronulla, New South Wales, in 2016 at the end as a 16-year-old. Earned my stripes here, going through the grades, and I just really worked hard to be able to get my shot in the big picture before the superstars. So 2019 obviously rolled around, and I was one of the luckiest people in the country to be able to debut. And now, obviously 3 years later, I've come to enjoy and just sit back and reflect on how good it's been so far. And now that I kind of sit in this position now and I do talks with Katie, it's always nice to look back and see how far the journey's been. But that's a kind of a long story. Kind of everyone kind of knows, but it's one thing that I try and do is look back now and inspire the next kind of generation. And all the young, I like to drive all the young Pacific Island kids as well. It gets a bit hard in that space, and I probably understand it more. And so, that's kind of what I'm doing now, looking back and just trying to support all our youth coming through.
For somebody who is so young, 22, if I'm correct, you have so much wisdom to share, and you've mentioned so many great things there. Representation being a huge one. Can you take us back to you growing up before you did come over to Australia, and paint a picture of how tough that was growing up?
Yeah, obviously had its challenges. Like we were young fellas coming through our time, and it was anyone who knows South Auckland kind of thing. It's never easy growing up there, but it's always home. I always felt safe, even though it kind of wasn't at times. We grew up in two garages. Obviously times got a bit tough there, and we know the garage is probably the same size as my little garage downstairs now that obviously I live. But I had a family there was three of us boys, and my mum. She kind of come through the time. Her and dad split up at a young age, and it was always tough during that time. So single mother. Shout out to my mum. I love you, mum. It was just we had leaking garages, and I speak about this pretty religiously. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm pretty proud to look back at it. It was a leaking garage. When it rained, it used to always be bad because I don't know if anyone knows, but when it's water hitting tin or whatever it is, steel, you can hear everybody raindrop, and we felt wind blowing through the bloody door. The door was even broken to this garage, and just how living conditions probably weren't the best, but we made do and with what we had. And then my mum is someone that I kind of look back at now, and I've always kind of admired her strength, and I've got so much admiration for women, all around the world that they just, I think the respect level that I have for them is second to none. The way my mum's raised me, and seeing what women go through as well, at all aspects of life, changed my appreciation for them, and just being able to go through those hard times, and sometimes mum had to take us to work with her, and we used to just sleep in the offices when she was doing night work, and me and my brothers would all chill there and kind of keep each other company while she was doing her thing. At a young age, I think we saw things that kids probably shouldn't see, and I'm not saying my situation has been the worst, especially with what I've heard and all the charity work I've done. But like I said, I look back now, and my mum was strong enough to kind of get away from their life and take the leap, and obviously now it's paying off, and I'm very lucky to have a woman like that in my life that loves me unconditionally and is brave enough and strong enough to go out of her comfort zone to make sure that me and my brothers in that have got the lives that we've got now.
Yeah, I appreciate how raw you are in conversations like this. And I think the more raw you are, the more it hits home for other people listening. And there's always going to be someone who can relate, and maybe somebody who can get some inspiration and strength to make that decision that your mum made as well. The things that you couldn't unsee, do you feel like they always sit in the back of your mind to make sure that you never forget where you came from?
100%. Like it kind of still scars me now and then. And sometimes when things don't go right for me, I fall into that bad pattern of what I did have or what I've seen, and it's a daily reminder for me, I guess. Practicing gratitude, and now I get to do very nice things now and do nice things for my family, and be able to set them up and for the future, and hopefully my future kids and wife. And I look back and just think, some of the things I saw was like, it's tough, but I always kind of took it as a different way of looking at it. I grew up around drugs. I grew up around crime, and it's not something I'm not used to, kind of thing, but I always chose to always not be the person that followed the herd of that and doing all that stuff. And I always chose to put myself at a higher level. And I feel like anyone can do that. Obviously it's hard when you grow up around it, but like I said, I had a strong woman in my corner, making sure that I was home before the bloody street lights turned on, and was there to clip me around the ears when I did anything wrong. So I always say it's all, anyone can say it's all me, but I had a very strong lady at home that always made sure I was right. But in my head, I guess I always kind of told myself, I want to be different, I want to change, and I always knew I was better than the life that was going on there.
Yeah, and now you're absolutely living it, and you are giving back in spades, my friend. Let's talk about that charity work. I mean, you're a full-time footballer, but you're a full-time charity worker as well. How many hours a week are you spending giving your time to people, including things like this?
Yeah, I think other people see it as a chore, and other people see it as ticking the box. No, I definitely don't see it. I enjoy it. Obviously I have days where I feel tired, but believe it or not, when I rock up to events, when I rock up to seeing the children run around, or whatever organisation I'm with, it actually gives me a lot of energy. It actually puts a smile on my face. Actually allows me to practice my gratitude and stuff like that. And that's one thing that I truly draw off. It makes me enjoy this job. And when I go to training and when I go to work, I always had in the back of my head, I'm doing this for the kid that's at home dreaming. I'm doing this for the kid that is at home waiting for that, like I said, that superhero to come through and inspire them. And I think without my job, and I'm very grateful for my job, I'm very grateful that I get to be in this position to empower our young youth and all those out there. And I've had grown adults message me and say they've really drawn so much inspiration from what I've done so far. And it's for that person. I couldn't care less. This goes to millions of people. I'm trying to change one person's life, and if I can do that, I've done my job, and I'm a very happy person. But no, it's everyone always asks me, like, how do you do it all? It's just I feel like it's our duty as footy players, right? It's our duty as men in the community, as men, as in any aspect of our life to really empower our youth coming through. We set the example for the next generation, and obviously with our women, I think it's being pretty overlooked. I'm not saying this is in general, but for us to empower our women as well, empower our men to be better people. I think it's important for us to show example, not just telling them. And I think so far we're leaning towards that. And obviously our game has been changing as well. We've had the women's league come in, and our RPA obviously just come in the other day. Sorry, and we're talking about helping our women as well in this game. So that I see as a community, us coming out as a community is awesome. So I really enjoy that. I really enjoy that bit of work, and I don't see it as a chore. I don't see it as a tick in a box. I see it as that's my job, and that's our duty of care for our community and our people.
Yeah, well said. And it goes a long way when you have the courage to be vocal as well. You know that your position in the game is that of a respected one. And when you talk, people listen, and that doesn't happen for everyone. So Ronaldo, take your hat off. Give yourself a little pat on the back because it's fantastic. And what about in terms of highlights with charity work? I know you say it's a duty and it is your job, but you don't see it as a chore. What is the most rewarding for you?
The smile on kids' faces is what sits with me when I go to bed, is what sits with me when I rock up to training. For some reason, I always remember kids' smiles. I've worked with the kids on the spectrum. I've worked with kids in disability units, and I love it. Like I just love seeing a good smile on their face, and it just makes me happy. Like being able to mix and mingle with them and get a smile, it makes me realize that they can be happy in that situation while we sad about our situation, kind of thing. And these kids are just lovely, like awesome kids that just want to get out there and just enjoy life for what it is. And like I said, it's just a smile that as simple as it is, it just gives me so much inspiration, gives me so much energy to just carry on and keeping on making these kids' days. And I really do like that. And making someone's day, right, it takes a minute, 2 minutes max to sit with someone, have a good little chat, and be able to hold my arms around them and take a nice photo with them. I like it when they have that chance to go home and show their family and all of that. So that's really good, and that's what I love about it.
For sure. Yeah, fantastic. In 2022, what can we expect to see from you outside of footy? I'm sure you're always working on a little project and you're always involved with Sharks charities.
Yeah, like I want to focus on, obviously, Stepping Stone House. That's been spoken about. That's about kids that are homeless. And that's not their fault. They're not a government-funded organisation. So if any donators out there want to donate, just go down to steppingstonehouse.com.au or .co.au. And feel free to donate. Even time is awesome. But I really want to focus on our community here in Cronulla. Obviously, COVID's been pretty tough, and I want to be able to get around our community and just be able to mix and mingle with everyone. We haven't seen our young fellas and young women get around. So I really want to go over and see all the junior leagues and schools and stuff like that, and get into there and just have good yarns with them and make sure they're all doing well. Obviously teamed up with Steve at What Ability. So I'm looking forward to getting into that and working with the kids over there and just being able to take them out for the day and stuff like that. And hopefully one day I can make my own organisation and really support everyone in whatever challenges they have in life. So I haven't figured out how I'm going to do that yet. That's still in the works. So I can't wait for that. And that's a challenge I set for myself.
That's the journo in me was like, oh my gosh, when are you going to set up your own? That sounds so exciting.
Yeah. It should be good. Hopefully, I've got that in the back foot. So it's all just about discussing how we go about it and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Stepping Stone House, could we just touch on that a little more? Because that's an area where you've been incredibly passionate and you've made a lot of change. Just for people who aren't aware, and you mentioned the website where they could donate, just give us a bit of background on what those people are going through.
Yeah, Stepping Stone House is an organisation that is obviously, like I said, not government funded, but they're kids that are being at disadvantage, and they're vulnerable kids that have gone through challenging obstacles in their life so far at a young age. Some of the stories they're horrific. I obviously told my teammates when I did my campaign, give five, give five. And these kids have come through all challenges of their life where it's damaged them in a certain bit of their life as well. And what Stepping Stone House does is allow them to have that home feeling again, and really get them back to having that normal bit of life. And being a kid, just being able to be a kid without worries. So Stepping Stone House has set up houses all over Sydney so far. We run events on the yearly. We do one called Sleeping Under the Stars that we've done over a couple of years now. That's raised massive amount of funds for kids, and that houses kids. I think it's sitting at 20k houses a kid for a year. So we've always been open to donations throughout the whole country, and we've had international companies jump on board and help support us. But yeah, it's a great organisation, and massive shout out to ASICS that support it every year, and they donate. Obviously ASICS are with me, but they obviously saw that was important to me as important to them. They donated all the kids' shoes,
Wow.
and made sure that they're all sorted for whatever they needed, shoes wise, which is awesome. And yeah, it's just the whole NRL community got behind it, which I really enjoyed and really loved. You had some of the biggest stars promoting it, and it was probably one of my proudest moments as a young fella coming through the game. Being able to see that the campaign kicked off the way it did. And yeah, it's a awesome organisation. I spent Chrissy there with them, giving out presents early in the morning, and that was awesome to see how much a little gift meant to them. And yeah, I really do love that. I love those guys, and I said to them when I was going through that stiff and metal kind of period that this isn't for me. This is for the organisation. That may the power be with the media looking at me, looking at Stepping Stone House kind of thing. So we've done an awesome job so far, and I'm really excited to see how far we can go with it again.
Yeah, Ken Stephen medalist, that for non-rugby league fans is the pinnacle of an award of somebody who does great work away from football and using their position of power in a positive light. And you ticked all those boxes, and that was a huge accolade. But I think you hit the nail on the head as well, where you say that you're doing that for the betterment, but in a relationship or partnership with Stepping Stone House.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Ronaldo, I'd love to hear some words of inspiration before we let you go, words that maybe you live by, or just a message for kids, families, anyone listening.
Yeah, mine for kids is hard work always beats talent. I think we've all heard that. I wasn't the most talented kid, even though I do some tricky stuff on the field. It's never been that. I've always worked my butt off, and I always said, my mum always told me that you're a better man off the field, you're a better footballer on the field. And I inspire everyone, young man, young woman, to when you get into our community, be a good person. And you can make someone's life, you can change your life, but really be genuine, really be present, really be a good person with anyone you come across. You want to leave that last impression with someone, that a good one. And I just never leave any stone unturned with whatever I do. I finish everything. And I make sure I give my all, and just, like I said, be a good person. And at the end of the day, we all end up in the same box, as sad as that is. And we can never take money and stuff like that with us. So I'll see you all down there sometime, and hopefully not too soon. But yeah, like I said, be a good. Yeah, I'm trying to scare everyone, but yeah, hopefully, just that's my number one rule. We'll all end up in this, the same box, and I'm never too big for my shoes. I always make sure that I'm on the same platform as everyone else, and I treat the janitor with the same respect as I do with the CEO, and that's how I've always been.
For sure. What's your mum's name, Ronaldo?
Her name's Vainga, so she's a crazy lady. Everyone stay away from her. She's eased up on me, bloody hell. But my old girl, she's my best friend. I call her about anything when times get tough around footy. I cry to her. I like to tell her a couple goss here and there sometimes, and just give her the look in. She loves it though. So my old girl's my best friend. I love her. She's an awesome woman. And shout out to all the women, the single mums out there as well. And he's just awesome. Ladies are just strong, different type of strong. I thought I was strong, and as soon as I get a flu, I'm done. I'm out and about. I don't want anything to do with anyone. And the old girl, I've seen her go through some stuff. So shout out to all the women out there. He's awesome. And us men appreciate everything you do for us.
Well, Vanga did very well in bringing up you. Well done. And shout out to her for sure. It's been so great to chat, and I so appreciate you giving up your time. I know that you're a busy man, and good luck for the Sharks 2022 season.
Thank you very much.